It's before the end. Hey, okay. Should be recording, so. Okay. Anyway, okay, go ahead and keep, because I'm pretty sure it's recording. There we go. Okay.
Yes. For me, yeah, for physical education, and also for how to link some modern teaching, not modern, how to link the learning approaches of learned. Like, for example, for me, according to my philosophy, I prefer some learning approaches. How can I link them and apply them on my students using collaboration related to other subjects, like integration of other subjects, like to make a pot, and all the subjects around this pot are like putting in the same pot of students. And plus that, I want to also link it to my classroom environment, all factor of classroom environment. So the main topic will be the classroom, the positive classroom environment, using the learning approaches I've learned in my philosophy. I'll apply it. Still need to put some point and guidelines, but this is the idea. I'm just trying to maybe choose a specific point to work on, but still this is the main idea. I'm gonna just write some main points in it.
Okay, and so what we do in our faculty meetings is, you know, if we want to talk, we raise our hand. I'm not going to do that every time, but and how far along are you in UO People program? How many classes? Is this your 8th? Is that right?
This is my 11th. Sorry, 10th.
10th. So you're pretty close. So yeah. So 5910. This is a conversation for y'all and 5270. So I'm not going to interject too much. And we're not going to drag this out. I just want to get an idea. So I'm going to kind of step back. 5910, if you want to chime in, you know, as 5270 is talking, and I'll just kind of hang back. If you can kind of offer your thoughts to Ahmed. No, I'll say it right. Ahmed. Yeah. And again, just briefly, because, you know, he's just forming some ideas. So.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you.
Who will start talking?
Okay, I'll go.
Rasha. So what I'm wondering is if anyone in 5910 would like to weigh in with what Ahmed said.
All right.
But maybe not, which is okay. Okay, so yeah, do you want to go ahead? Yep. So we want name, how far along you are, and any little idea that you might be formulating on your capstone.
Oh, Chico here. I'm using my phone. I'm trying to figure out Teams on my phone. I've already started my research, but then I was intrigued by what you were talking about, the idea of bringing PE into the English classroom. I'm an English teacher and a drama teacher, and the research I'm doing now is different, but I have done a research around movement in the classroom. So as you were talking, those were some of the things that were coming to mind. The idea of psychomotor skills and delivering English, the whole idea of embodiment of learning. Because I remember with drama, when I was looking at how the body is a tool for students. So as you're talking, it's sort of adding value to a previous research I've done. And maybe, I don't know how far you've gone in terms of developing the idea, but maybe you could look into things like that. The idea of movement. I linked a lot of Gardner's in multi-intelligence theory into it, looking at kinesthetic learners, and yeah, just the idea of students moving around and using that as their bodies as an instrument to embody theories and the whole learning framework around that. So how can we access these researches? I mean, I'm excited. I'll be excited to read how yours develops.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My 5910s are shy. Yeah, so Chibo, I think, talking about the impact of movement. So, one of the things that I think UO people does not do well, and I've heard several 5910 talk about it, they just don't prepare you well for, the statistical tools you're going to have to use, so like a t-test. So that's what you have, your student progress prior to movement in the class and then after movement in the class. So that's a perfect study. And,
Yes.
I think you're really working and you'll be able to refine it. Okay, so I saw Maria's hand up, so I'm going to turn it over.
Thank you, Professor. Yes, that's absolutely correct. One of the things that we did, and when you get to the capstone course, it depends on how good you are with statistics. I know personally, even though I took AP statistics in high school, I really had to go back and even learn more than what I learned in my AP high school class. The different types of analysis you can implement into your study, the different types of approaches you can take towards the credibility and validity of your actual research and study. So if you are doing something like that requires motor skills, think about how you're going to analyze that, right? Think about how you're gonna, is it going to be, I forgot what the name of the analytical, they all have these different names, right? T-test, 2-sample t-test. So just, I know one of my peers, he used the one that's called, that talks about if it's likely or less likely, that's maybe the kind of scale you want to use for something that's physical, right? Maybe a 10 in terms, oh, there you go. Definitely get one of those books. But yeah, so something that like a measurement scale for something that's fitness related might be very, very helpful, especially for each individual student. I think that would be really, really a really great way to measure aptitude and performance. I know me personally, I also have a fitness background as well. So, that's one of the ways we measure fitness, right? Is from low performance to high performance. So that might be something you want to consider implementing into your study as well.
Great. Thank you very much, Maria. Yes, if you want to put your hand down, unless you want to talk some more. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Neri, do you want to talk any ideas? Tell us who you are, how far along you are, and any ideas for your study.
Hello, my name is Nariman Daye.
Can you all hear her?
Hello, do you hear me?
She's very soft-spoken.
No.
Yeah, just maybe talk a little
Speak
louder.
up a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Nariman Daye, and originally I'm from Lebanon, but I've been here in Curacao for such a long time. I chose my topic for research because during the COVID, my kids were, first of all, I don't have any experience in teaching. I'm an optometrist, actually. So everything is new for me. So during the COVID, my kids started online courses, and because their primary language is Dutch, and taking courses English as a second language. So this is kind of difficult for them. So I chose my research based on this as an English second language who are taking English online courses. So it's a kind of new for me. I tried to ask a few questions from their teachers, how they are going and what's the problem. Many students, when online courses, they don't pay attention. They keep on their phones, on their other things they are doing. So this is kind of somehow useless. And they found difficulties to pay attention through screens and not face-to-face like in classrooms. So it was a good idea to take my research based on this. So it's kind of new for me, but I'm going very well so far.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Great. Oh yeah, Russia, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Wolf, for this opportunity. And hello, everyone. This is Rasha. I'm from Iraq. And I live in Iraq also. I am an international teacher in an IB school, homeroom. I'm so happy to be with you. Yes. Yes, Dr. Wolf.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Everybody's on. Ahmed just got hired at an IB school. So Rasha, I expect everybody who speaks, who teaches an IB reaching out to Ahmed. Okay, please go.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really happy to be here because I am a bit scared from that day that I will have the capstone. And I hope to have again Dr. Jennifer with us, because during this course, actually, I learned like the much that I spent in the UOP, which is about 8 terms that I finished almost. I hope to have her again. My question is, since you are too close to graduate, almost 1 week to graduate, what is your advice to us to start up with? Is it really scared to be there? What we have to plan? For me, I plan to have something about IB because I really want to have an advanced level in Iraq, to have this organization really applied here. We need that because our kids are raising with scared, with poverty, war. So I want this theory, the IB one, to be there, separated everywhere also. So what is your advice? This is my question. Thank you.
Yeah, Carol, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Carol and I live in Bangalore, India. So nice to meet all of you.
Yes, you.
Rasha, am I saying your name right, Rasha?
Yes, Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, not the country, not the country.
Yeah, I got it.
So I also want to point out Katerina and Rasha. Katerina is from Ukraine and she has been able to escape. Yeah, so Rasha and Katerina unfortunately have some things that they could share in common now. But anyway, go ahead, Carol. So again, Katerina, just your courage is overwhelming and it's going to make me tear up. But you know, just like I said, if you feel like you need to submit your assignments early, I got permission for you to do that. So you just take care of yourself.
Yeah, I would like to say, Katerina, that I was really inspired, especially I read your last discussion post and it just moved me because I was like, if I were in the same situation as you, God forbid, I wouldn't have dealt with it the way that you're handling yourself. So you really inspired me to find that motivation to kind of do so well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Rasha, just say that I resonate with your feel a little bit of the capstone, because when I was doing the same course as you, or a little earlier on, before the capstone, I was so nervous and I didn't know what to do and where to begin because I had so many ideas, but sometimes it felt like my ideas weren't good enough to conduct a research or something like that. But I would say that it's not that hard once you get started. So the good thing is the 5470, that course, the research and education, kind of preps you into capstone. So if you just have an idea of where you want to begin or an issue that you're thinking about, just think over an issue, and it's really helpful to kind of streamline your thought and focus just on one. So I would say the simpler your approach, the better, because the more you try to complicate your approach, the more you try to include all kinds of quantitative, all kinds of qualitative, and you're just going to get bogged down. Especially for me, because I juggle work and home and everything. It was just so much simpler for me to focus on one problem, find one. So my research does do critical thinking strategies, implementation of that. Does it affect student learning and how they remember things, or if they remember things at all when they ask questions and things like that? So I did a t-test, and I really had to research what a t-test is because I had absolutely no idea. Thankfully, Dr. Wolf helped me. I left some comments in my paper and I said, I don't know how to do this. Can you please help me out? So that really helped. And she's always open to answering questions. So just, I'm sure you know that already by now. So keep it simple. Quantitative, I just did one, the t-test, and qualitative, I just coded there. So I kept it written because there was so many switches between online and offline classes. I kept most of the responses in a written format so that I could immediately just highlight whatever was similar, whatever was easy to categorize. So I would just say the simpler, the better. And it's not that hard. 5-4 that research and education course will prepare you for your capstone. Only thing is, I would say prepare your portfolio right from where you are right now. It's not that hard. Keep it relevant to you and your practice, and also kind of prep yourself for statistics and analysis of that sort. Because if you have that in place, then it's going to flow better for you. I hope I made sense.
First of all, do you mean the Evernote?
Yeah, Evernote.
Yeah, I have everything there. About the book that Dr. Wolf showed to us, can we have the soft copy?
I'm gonna go in there.
Yeah,
I ordered it from Amazon. This is what my dissertation chair recommended. And yeah, it's, I mean, it's, you know, it's a textbook, but it's pretty readable. It's surprising. It's pretty readable. So, and now there's much more than you're ever going to use, but you know, if you do a doctoral level study, you'll need it. And I do want to say, yeah, the purpose, truly the purpose of your capstone study, just like my dissertation, can you design, conduct, and analyze a study? So yes, I agree completely with Carol, and maybe Nikki's going to say the same thing. Simpler is better. You're not trying to solve any world problems. Yeah, you want, as a teacher, you want your answers, but hey man, you know what? You got 8 weeks, maybe 16. Just make it simple. One qualitative, one quantitative, boom, pop smoke. Do your write-up. Yes. So I agree with Carol.
Sorry, is the t-test is like a survey?
No, does any 5910 want to explain that? I don't want to speak for, I mean, y'all are again, I said I was going to let you work this thing. So if anybody wants to chime in on the t-test, I'm happy to.
Would you like me to explain or someone else?
Okay, Carol.
Okay, no. So I'll just go ahead. I did a pre-test and a post-test of assessment scores. So before I implemented the strategy, there was a chapter check that the students did. I took those scores, and after implementing the strategies, I took the same test, and they attempted that test again, and I took those scores again. So I compared the two. If the strategy, the point of this is so that I know if my strategies made a difference or not.
Right. If they were significant, yes.
Yes, if they were significant, the terms, if they were significant. I just put it in Excel. Excel has the option to run a t-test, the Excel sheets. And it's quite simple. After that, you just enter your values and you can figure it out. It's not too hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's before and after. So you would use that. So Carol was able to implement an intervention, right? Some of you will not have an intervention because you don't have time. And for example, in my dissertation, I did not have an intervention because it's Army training and they're not going to let me put in anything new. So I just did that one evaluation as is. But my questions were, before your officer went to this course, what level was he on a Likert scale 1 to 5? After the course, what level was he, 1 to 5? And that's where I did my t-test. Was the course significant? So that's all it's telling you, because you can look at it and go, wow, this kid went up 6 points. Well, on a scale of 1 to 100, is 6 points a big deal? And the t-test tells you if it's significant.
I understand. So one more question before I want to thank Carol about that. Carol, can I have your WhatsApp or any way to contact with you if I have any question or something like that? Do you accept that?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, I will keep my in Teams. I will keep my number there. And thank you, Carol. My prayers, my thoughts are with you and with Ukraine people there. I'm so sorry for what is happening for you. I'm sorry, but I believe that everything works for good. Okay, so just believe and you will be safe.
Yeah, that is Katerina. Yeah. Okay, I think Nikki first, and then Katerina, and then Ahmed.
Hi, Russia. So my name's Nikki. I'm so happy to hear that you're an IB educator. I'm a long-term IB educator, and just think there's nothing better in education. So it's always nice to hear another IB, someone passionate about the IB. So what I was going to say kind of has been covered about just preparing. That really the data analysis was the thing that really got me. Like Dr. Wolf said, I don't feel that we were really well prepared for the amount of statistical analysis that we would be expected to do. Actually, I feel not prepared at all. Even I feel like the course before was very good, looking at research and education. And I was a little bit worried. I actually started that course and dropped out of it in the first week. One time before I did it, because I didn't realize that I was going to be asked to start talking about my research already. I thought that course was going to be to develop it. So I kind of had a false start with that, but then the next time I just got on with it. But that data analysis is massive. For mine, there's so much about observation and talking with students and interviewing and getting their feelings and videoing and recording, and I ended up with just a mountain of data to try to go through to make sense of. And what's been difficult for me, because I don't really think in that statistical way as a person or as an educator, so I'm really about relationships and connections. So that was really hard for me, in that I can see the effect that the intervention is having. Like, it is clear to me every time I walk into the classroom. It's not actually my classroom, but I can see it. It is so obvious, the depth of thinking, the changes in the students. They're giving each other peer feedback now without the teacher even asking them to do it. Like, it's amazing. But when it comes to that academic research statistics side, that's what I found quite hard, is to try to get through all of that great stuff that I know is happening, and all of this massive amount of data I've got written down, and videos, and kind of coding that to make it accessible to somebody reading my study. So,
yeah, so quantitative data, you put it in Excel, boom. Qualitative data, you have to know how to code it, and it is a process, but boy, you sure do learn a lot.
yeah, I can attest to that.
But yeah, if your research question is qualitative, but it's narrow enough, it's easier. My qualitative question was, would you like to tell the researcher anything else? Oh, that was a huge mistake. I got so many comments, but it turned out to be good, because I learned a lot about what the officers and the commanders were thinking. So in the end, it worked out, but I was like, oh my gosh. How, and you really don't want to have more than 10 themes. Wow. Anyway, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, so thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Yeah, so not to be scared, but to be prepared.
Dr. Wolf, no thesis, right? Just
No,
projects.
Chris.
Not,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Katerina, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, yes, thank you again, everybody, for your support. It really helps me to survive this period. And answering Rasha's question about advice, I completely agree with Carol that the simpler research, the better. Because from my experience, I tried to measure the influence of online learning on students' creativity. And I developed many research questions in my research and education course. And a result, in my capstone course, I saw that I can't measure what I want to reveal. So I narrowed significantly my research and left only one research question. And my second advice is don't be disappointed if you don't reveal to what you are going to find out. For instance, I expected that students who likes online learning would be really creative, but my correlational analysis showed that it's little correlation. There's not necessarily students who like online learning were really creative. But I tried not to be disappointed and continue my research, make some conclusions, and any data you will get, if they are reliable and they're precious data. I believe it's applied research.
Yeah, so that's where your hypothesis was proven. You know, the null hypothesis was proven. You thought this is what was going to happen. That's not what happened. Same thing happened in my study. I thought people were going to say the course was no value and not helpful at all, and it turned out it was, and it was significant. So yeah, you get some eye openers, and that, that's okay. And so to keep that bias, from making, I'm going to find the answer I want. So good job, to you, Katerina, that you just accepted what it was, and, that's okay. All right. Ahmed?
Thank you, everyone, for your advices. I just have 3 questions. I know maybe their answers are a little bit long, but I'll write some main points. First, for my topic, actually, I missed the lead in for my topic because I feel like I prepared so many factors, I knew them, but I still lost the lead in. Like I prepared linking the PE with the movement to the classroom environment to make it more active, to make the students interactive with me more, to stay away from the traditional classroom setting and gain their attention and so on. So I'm asking about the point of integrating more than a topic that helps my topic. Does it make sense? I mean, like I'm gonna mix 2 or 3 topics, like classroom environment, like my learning approaches, like my my classroom preparation and materials, the sources, to serve my main topic.
Okay, now if I'm understanding you correctly, you're going to then have 4 variables, and you won't know what caused the impact. So if you change your classroom environment and you introduce some kind of intervention and you have students do think, pair, share, okay, why did they improve? Was it because of movement, or was it because of critical thinking, or was it because of, so if I'm understanding you correctly, in 5910, feel free to chime in if I'm totally not tracking, but you want one variable, what one thing that changed. So if you're in PE, okay, they read for 10 minutes before they start PE. This group does, and then that group doesn't. Because then okay, you know what? It was the reading that did it. That's the only thing I changed.